Let me ask you something before we even start. When was the last time you looked at your partner and felt, genuinely, deeply felt, that you could not imagine your life without them? Not the comfortable, of course they are part of my life feeling. The real one. The one that used to show up without you having to look for it. If you had to think about that for more than 3 seconds, stay with me. Because what I'm about to show you are 7 signs that your relationship may have already ended emotionally, even though everything on the surface still looks completely fine. And sign number 1? I am going to show you that right now, before we even begin the countdown. Because once you hear it, you will not be able to look away. Sign 7. You have stopped growing, and neither of you has noticed. Here is something nobody talks about in relationships. The moment two people stop challenging each other, the moment the conversations get shorter, the questions stop, the surprises disappear, something starts dying, slowly, without either person realizing it is happening. Researchers at the University of Michigan found that stagnation, not cheating, not fighting, not distance, is one of the very first signs a relationship has begun its decline. Not because the love disappeared, but because the life inside the relationship did. So ask yourself this honestly, and I mean really honestly. When did your partner last say something that genuinely changed the way you think? Not something sweet, something that shifted something in you permanently. If nothing is coming to mind, that is not a small thing. That is sign number 7. But here is what I need you to understand before we move to sign 6. What I am about to tell you next goes against everything you have ever been told about what a healthy relationship looks like. And if you stop watching before you hear it, you will spend years misreading one of the most dangerous signs there is. Sign 6. You never argue, and you actually think that is a good thing. I know, that sounds backwards, but stay with me for 60 seconds, because this one changed how I see everything. Dr. John Gottman spent decades in his love lab watching real couples, tracking their conversations, their conflicts, their body language. And what he found shocked the entire field of relationship psychology. The couples heading toward breakup were not the ones who fought the most. They were the ones who had stopped fighting entirely. Because fighting, real fighting, the kind where something actually matters to both of you, means you still care. It means this relationship is still worth the discomfort of honesty. But when one person goes quiet, when the arguments just stop, Gottman called it stonewalling, and he identified it as one of the 4 behaviors most likely to end a relationship permanently. A relationship with no conflict does not mean 2 people are in harmony. It may mean one of them has already checked out and just has not said it yet. Now, sign number 5. This is the one most couples would read and think, wait, that sounds like us, but we are fine. And that is exactly the problem. Give me 90 seconds and I will show you why. Sign 5. Everything runs smoothly, and that smoothness is suffocating you. The schedules work. The bills get paid. Nobody is fighting. Life together is functional, comfortable, predictable. And from the outside, it looks like you have figured it out. But Robert Sternberg, one of the most respected names in relationship psychology, mapped out what happens when a relationship loses its intimacy and passion, but keeps its commitment. He gave it a name: empty love, not angry love, not broken love, just empty. 2 people holding the structure of something together long after the feeling inside it has gone. Here's the question that will tell you everything. When did you last feel excited? Not content, not comfortable, actually excited? Just to be around this person. No plans, no occasion, just them. How long did it take you to find that memory? Do not answer that out loud. Just hold it. Because sign number 4 is about to reframe something that happens in your life every single day. And once you see it through this lens, you are going to realize it has been telling you the truth about your relationship for a very long time. Sign 4. Your partner is no longer the first person you want to call. Something great happens today. Could be anything. A promotion, a compliment, a moment that made you laugh so hard your eyes watered. Before you even think about it, before you decide, who does your mind go to first? Be honest. Because Dr. Philip Shaver's decades of attachment research show that this automatic impulse, The instinct to reach for one specific person in your best moments is one of the most accurate indicators of where your deepest emotional bond actually lives right now. If that person is not your partner, if it is a friend, a sibling, a coworker, that is not nothing. That is your nervous system telling you something your conscious mind is still trying to avoid. Relationships can handle conflict. They can handle distance. They can handle almost anything, except the slow, quiet moment when your partner stops being your person. Sign number 3 is the one I almost did not include in this video, because it is so easy to mistake for something healthy. Most people do, and that mistake, that one specific mistake, may be the thing quietly unraveling everything. Sign 3. You have stopped telling the truth, and you have dressed it up as maturity. Not lying, nothing dramatic, just editing yourself, keeping certain thoughts back, letting certain feelings pass without saying them, pre-deciding that some conversations are not worth having because you already know how they will go. Dr. Dana Jack spent years researching what she called self-silencing, the pattern of withholding your real self from the people closest to you. And what she found was clear. It is one of the strongest long-term predictors of relationship breakdown there is. Not because the silence is dishonest, but because the moment you stop showing up as your full self, your real fears, your actual frustrations, your genuine desires, you are not really in the relationship anymore. A curated version of you is. And a relationship built around a curated version of you will always feel slightly hollow, because it is. The most dangerous part? It feels like wisdom. It feels like you have grown. It feels like keeping the peace. What it actually is slow disappearance. And sign number 2? Sign number 2 is what slow disappearance feels like from the inside. I am going to give you the exact words for it, because most people carry this feeling every single day without ever knowing what it is called. Sign 2. You are lonely, and your partner is sitting right next to you. Not lonely because they are away. Not lonely because life has been busy. The specific, particular loneliness of being beside someone and feeling like they cannot see you. Lonely at dinner. Lonely mid-conversation. Lonely in the silence between two people who have run out of things they actually want to say to each other. Dr. Julianne Holt-Lunstad at Brigham Young University found that this kind of loneliness, the loneliness that exists inside a relationship, causes measurably more psychological and physical damage than being completely alone. Because when you are single, the loneliness makes sense. But when you are with someone and still feel it, your mind and body register that as something deeply, fundamentally wrong. Because it is. That feeling is not ingratitude. It is not a phase. It is your inner life trying to hand you a truth that the rest of you is not ready to receive yet. And that truth, the one your body has been carrying through every sign on this list, lives in sign number 1. The very first thing I told you at the start of this video, you heard it then. But I promise you, after everything you have just sat with, you are about to understand it in a way you could not have 4 minutes ago. Sign 1. You have stopped picturing your partner in your future, and you did not even notice when it happened. No decision, no dramatic realization, just a quiet shift. You think about your life 3 years from now, and the image forms without them. You picture yourself happier, lighter, more like yourself, and they are simply not there. Not removed, just never placed there when the image came together. Dr. Carol Roosebolt's investment model, one of the most tested frameworks in commitment psychology, identifies future orientation as one of the 3 core pillars holding any relationship together. When a person stops naturally imagining their partner in their future, Roosebolt's research is clear. Commitment has already begun its final decline. Not because of one argument, not because of one bad season, but because something deep inside has already finished a conversation the rest of you has not started yet. Your mind does not erase someone carelessly. It does not do it on a bad day or after a small fight. It does it slowly, carefully, and only after it has already reached a conclusion. And here is what psychology says that conclusion actually means, because I want to be honest with you about this. It does not mean your relationship is definitely over. It means the future you are privately imagining and the relationship you are publicly maintaining are no longer moving in the same direction. And the longer that gap stays unnamed, the harder it becomes to close. So here is what I want you to sit with before you go anywhere. Every single sign we just covered, all 7 of them, arrived without making a sound. No announcement, no dramatic moment, just absences. The absence of growth, the absence of honesty, the absence of that instinct to reach, the absence of a future you are building together. And the most important question you can ask yourself right now is not whether your relationship is in trouble. It is whether you have been honest with yourself about what you have been feeling, possibly for a very long time. So go to the comments right now and tell me this, honestly, without the edited version of yourself showing up to manage the answer. Which one of these 7 signs hit you the hardest? And how long have you actually been feeling it? Before tonight gave it a name, I read every single comment on this channel. Everyone. And I want to hear what came up for you, because I have a strong feeling that for some of you tonight, this was not just a video about relationships. It was the first honest conversation you have had about yours in a very long time. If that is true, share this with someone who needs to hear it too. And subscribe, because next week I'm going into something that goes even deeper than this. And trust me, after tonight, you are going to want to be there.